making me spend enough time with this location title to realize that flipping it spells Moscow. Also, I know we're not expecting a 100% true adaptation of the Secret Invasion run, but renaming Russia to present day is an interesting creative liberty. Contributing to the growing e-waste problem by throwing your burner phone on the ground instead of burning it. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Moving your gun from your sock to your pants, so as the audience, we know you have a gun and that we might get to see you shoot yourself in the ass.
Imagine a world
Without narration? Every day. Operation Treadstone? Are we sending the wrong show, or has Disney secretly purchased Universal so they can make a crossover with the Bourne universe? Yes, that's a joke, but why does it feel like it might not be? Episode goes with the standard spy mood board cliche. Also, terror in Munich, mass shooting, motive, unnecessary post-excitement.
that's precisely what they want you to think.
Trying to convince someone that you aren't a conspiracy nut by using the go-to slogan, every conspiracy nut has used since November 22nd, 1963. Or is that what Marvel wants us to think?
So you think the same people are behind all of this?
Not people, Skrulls.
Hey, Skrulls can be people too. Isn't that the point?
Skrulls could be anybody, anywhere, at any time.
So, in theory, this would be a society where, as a person, you could present any way in which you would like, with no fear of persecution and no one giving a shit. Are we sure we don't want the Skrulls in charge?
I need to give them something more than just theories. I need evidence.
And the super secret location of the evidence is behind this desk? Also, Barrick, done with your shit, Darian, does indeed have some very compelling evidence. But you'd be forgiven for thinking he's a conspiracy-seeking lunatic considering he opened with the wild conspiracy shit instead of the hard evidence shit. Choking your Bilbo. Ross rolls down the stairs and into one of the most incomprehensible action shots I've ever seen. Episode will now showcase the motion-activated lighting in the stairwell for all of the overly dramatic some time.
Rukia! Talos.
Trusting that the shapeshifter who shifted shape into the shapeshifter you know is the known to be trustworthy shapeshifter.
He was one of you.
What do you mean, one of you? Also, now begins the inevitable no one is who you think they are, but maybe they are, but maybe who the f knows hook of the show. Meaning I'll have to devote 75% of my brain power to guessing, suspecting, and generally pondering who is or isn't a Skrull instead of simply enjoying the show. Yes, I could utilize the other 25% for show enjoyment, but you see, it's already been partitioned for puns and Archer references.
He's one of them.
What do you mean, one of them? Apparently, these opening credits were designed by an AI program instead of a human. So, should we send it for robbing an artist of meaningful work in a world where they're already underpaid and underappreciated? Or do we remove a sin for being on brand for the theme of the series and embracing the inevitability of new technologies? Or do we look a distraction? People who think the whole please remain in your seats until the seatbelt sign has been turned off thing doesn't apply to them. Also, it's one thing to be up in the ass of AI, it's another thing to be up in the ass of Spielberg's AI artificial intelligence.
I got kicked off the council, pushed into exile.
Talos is bringing Nick up to speed on some pretty radical developments about the Skrulls on Earth, and as nice as this exposition is for us, why doesn't Fury already know this shit? He hasn't been in a cave with a box of scraps. He's been working on an orbital weapons system. They could have updated him at any point, but decided to wait until they had exactly all time to save the day.
Gravik is now the newest member of the Skrull Council.
I present to you the newest product from Samsung, the Holosposition Pad.
Where is his ass?
Oddly timed biology lessons.
Skrulls are immune to radioactivity.
Of course they are.
Russia has the most abandoned nuclear plants on Earth.
Of course they do.
These plants, they're not on the books.
Of course they aren't. Also, if that's true, what was the point of all these little radioactive graphics on your map? Just for funsies?
What do you mean they left Saber?
Looks like in this round we have James Rhodes and Dermot Mulroney, but unfortunately there's only enough time for them to be baffled by the idea that Nick Fury might have had some chores to do. So tune in next week to maybe or maybe not find out on Who is the Skrull?
Agent Fury is building out the most complex aerospace defense system in the history of mankind. Can't just leave.
Right? I mean, that's super weird, isn't it? You'd think there'd be steps in place to make sure Nick Do What I Want Fury couldn't leave the station without prior approval or without setting off all the alarms. You sure would think that, wouldn't you, Mr. President?
Let's see. Large black man, Moscow.
Playing Guess Who with the British. Fury planning a bug is so not surprising that we'll wonder why they didn't search him more thoroughly and why they don't immediately sweep the room after he's gone.
I think Thanos' snap changed you, taught you that no matter how hard you fight for what's right, there's always someone stronger to undermine you.
What the is this? Is she trying to incept him? Sure, this guy was suddenly turned to dust and then resurrected 5 years later, but people change for a lot of reasons, and they don't need you speculating on the nature of their trauma.
I let your men take me so I could get to you.
Title of my sex tape? In case you confused it with 310 made-up units of measurement southwest of Moscow.
Take your natural form.
But make sure you do so behind your hat. As She-Hulk rightfully pointed out, this transformation ain't cheap, and we're not looking to overwork the AI workforce into a rebellion. Yet.
Welcome to New Skrullos.
You've arrived just in time to be my expositional walk-and-talk guinea pig, so we can tell the audience what a Skrullos is. Also, assuming that an alien species would show the same lack of creativity as the Europeans who took Monahata and named it New Amsterdam, and the Europeans who took New Amsterdam and named it New York, and the Europeans who took New York and named it New Orange, and you get the point. Furthermore, also, Lee, how did she know someone was coming? The guards certainly didn't have time to message her. Did she just happen to be driving past the entrance? I mean, that seems super weird because there's all down here other than exposition.
When's the last time you ate, Vito?
Here, have this unwrapped produce that I keep in the glove compartment. Also, why are we speaking English right now instead of a Skrull language?
We grow only Skrull produce here. Drink Skrull wine, wear Skrull skins.
Okay, now you're just naming things and putting Skrull in front of it. Also, you wear Skrull skins? I mean, I guess I do wear human skins, but I don't like this phrasing. I suppose this is Skrull soccer? That's right, I called it soccer. America!
The warriors keep our human form. The longer we attach to our shells, the less likely we can be identified by humans and Skrulls alike.
Plus, the show spent a ton of money getting Emilia Clarke to play me, and it'd be a shame if we hit her in prosthetics for the whole season.
What's behind that?
Victory.
The boat? What the hell do the Skrulls want with the oldest serving naval vessel in the world, commissioned in 1758, complete with 104 guns? Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see some pirate Skrulls, but how the hell did they get it from Portsmouth, England, all the way to... Oh, she's being metaphorically ambiguous, isn't she? Fine, but that's much less fun than my thing. Okay, these MI6 assholes should have found this for no other reason than it's visibly changing colors.
I'm considered good looking amongst my kind. Well, I know a bunch of good looking Skrulls. You ain't one.
Okay.
I'm glad these two besties are picking up where they left off, but I'm not glad the story that wants me to think the Skrull terrorist threat is urgent is also making time for this.
She will annihilate any and everyone who's ever even heard the name Gravik.
Being the living proof that what you just said was over-exaggerated BS.
You. Come with me.
We don't even see him look in a direction, let alone her direction, yet Gaia correctly guesses which you he was talking to. Is there some kind of unexplained tension between these two? Or does this guy just not like it when people slam car doors? A lot of what is going on here could have been cleared up if they just gave this guy a Skrull apple. Nicholas Joseph Fury, you're conducting an unauthorized operation on foreign soil. Why are you not concealing your weapon in public?
Oh, I got it, Mike.
In Captain America the Winter Soldier, did we not see this man tunnel his way out of a flipped car through sheet metal, asphalt, concrete, and whatever else is beneath the roadway, all in a few seconds? But he's flummoxed by a chained door?
Not bad for a 136-year-old.
Well, you know, not even 40 in human years. Haven't even gone on my midlife crisis shopping spree yet. What you get for yours?
The Avengers.
Glad to see fun banter took precedence over quietly infiltrating the shop of a bomb builder.
Got eyes on a possible person of interest.
No, you f***ing don't. There's like a 1.5-second window of time where it was possible for you to have caught sight of Fomelia here, and you just so happened to be looking the right way. Not to mention the nonsense that you were able to recognize her at this distance.
That chair belonged to Louis XV. It's priceless.
Everything is priceless till it gets blown to bits in a hail of bullets.
No, everything is not priceless. The Italian combo from the deli down the street is $8.99 before the bullets.
We're gonna go ahead and call that a lie. Everybody gets one. Nobody gets two.
What kind of saying is that? Nobody gets to lie twice? Nobody? How is there anyone left in the MCU? What about the heroes that have to lie about their identity? What about Talos, the man you're working with that is standing in this room and has to lie every day? I will never, ever, ever forgive hyperbolic threats. Well, I guess it isn't a Marvel property unless I've had at least one bout of nausea induced by 17 trillion cuts a second. Imagine getting an AI to create your opening credits, but not taking the time to also ask them, how do I make my action scenes less vomity?
I said no.
This will work well in the service of building tension between these two, but you could have shot him in the kneecaps, Nick. He still has the information you need.
Way to go.
Where did you come from? Or at least how in the TV time warp did you get here so fast?
This is not what your mother would have wanted.
Damn it. I thought Gaia got into this position on her merit, but turns out she's a Nepo baby.
Her last words? Fine, Gaia. She's dead.
And she didn't know her mother was dead either. I guess I'm connecting with these characters through their pain, but I vaguely remember sitting down to watch a suspense thriller, not a family drama.
You know that I'll protect you.
You can't protect anyone.
Gaia, I know.
He's letting her go? Okay, that's his daughter, but she has a bomb. I know that World War III eventually leads to the Vulcans arriving, the formation of Starfleet, and a utopian future, but damn it, he shouldn't know that.
Bourbon. Y piva miliardina.
Fury orders a pint here, but when we see them at the table, he's drinking a bottle, which is absolutely not a pint. Man, the MCU golden days really are behind us, aren't they?
You gonna tell me why you abandoned Earth?
Building out Saber.
Casual bar chats about
The most complex aerospace defense system in the history of mankind.
Let's just say I had a crisis of faith.
So why'd you come back?
there's being cool under pressure, and then there's drinking and playing chess in a bar while you know that your enemy has radioactive bombs they intend to use.
You're not ready for this, Fury.
Can we please just pretend he's ready? The semi-retired hero being forced back to fight the good fight trope is getting so tired that it, ironically, should itself be retired until we're prepared to drag it back into action with a more original conceit.
So check your footing, otherwise someone's gonna get hurt.
She said ominously, as if having some kind of foreknowledge about the episode's climax. They arrived in the same car. Did they have to get out to have this chat? The invasion may be secret, but all these characters seem set on ensuring that nothing else is.
A lot of backpacks in central Moscow.
Gaia's painted ours with infrared spray.
You're only telling them this now? What if they hadn't brought the fancy glasses that we're seeing for the first time ever?
We missed the pass.
And you're surprised? You have 3 people covering this huge ass square at nothing more than ground level. Of course you f***ing missed it. Aren't they supposed to be the best spies in the US? Our reward for patiently letting this episode go through the motions of setting up this story is that we now get to watch these 3 badly chase a MacGuffin through a crowded square at the pace of a quick walk. Skrulls. I mean, kids. Also, this seems to be the same little girl Fury saw earlier. So does Gravik spend some of his off hours hanging out as a 6-year-old with a Russian family? Gravik clearly doesn't care about Fury knowing that he's shapeshifting, but what about all the people on the other side of this stand that would clearly see this tiny girl turning into a middle-aged man? Look at this right here. Here's Gravik, and watch this guy as he looks directly at him the entire damn time. He 100% saw this transformation and doesn't say shit. Now we get some boom booms, so we know how formidable an opponent Gravik is. It's like an itty-bitty Thanos snap. I'm sure the death of Agent Hill is supposed to make me believe that no one is safe, but at this point, I really don't know how I can believe that. Gamora came back. All the people that got blipped came back. Heck, Marvel denies it, but for a good time there, even Phil Coulson was back. This slow pan up doesn't have me as convinced as you think it does that this isn't a Skrull, or that she's just in a coma and not even dead yet. Do you want ants? Because overcooking your steaks is exactly how you get ants.
What is real? How do you define real?
Then where is Fury?
He's on Saber.
Washing his tights.
I need an extract fast.
Vanilla or strawberry?
Your dreams are about to come true. Take his face.
Way off. Off.
Skrulls have infiltrated the ranks of major world powers.
Where is the proof?
Yorkshire pudding.
I'm considered good looking amongst my kind. It's a weird flex, but sure. Fury's in town, G.
Not G.
I'm sorry, I do not know this term. Dirty bomb?
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Oh, no. Loser.